Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name's Nora and I apologize that I have a very congested voice right now. Somehow I got sick again. I'm not as sick as last time, but I'm just really annoyed that I keep getting sick. So I sound a bit different. I sound very congested right now. Today we're going to be doing my 2025 reading journal setup spreads. You'll see me going through those in just a second, but I kind of wanted to talk about my reading journal before I got started. I don't really do like dedicated videos about my reading journal on this channel, at least not yet. This is my first one. I've included clips of me doing it in like my reading vlogs and things like that, but I've never dedicated a full video to my reading journal, so hopefully you like it. I've been journaling for quite a bit. I honestly don't remember how long I've been journaling, but it's been a couple years. I'd say probably since maybe 2020 or 2021, which I can't believe that's like 5 years ago. But that's beside the point. Yeah, I've always loved journaling. So when I saw reading journals getting popular, I was like, I want to give it a shot. I want to make one myself. And that's what I did. So I've gone through multiple journals, and this is probably, I think, my third one that I've like really gone through at this point. It's just a regular, bullet journal. I get this one from Amazon. It's called the Paper Age Bullet Journal. I think that's how you say it. But yeah, I just get it from Amazon, and I went with a purple color this time. This is actually the one I've used for 2024 also, but I was only halfway through, so I wanted to use it for 2025 as well and not just get like a brand new journal and leave this one half empty. I definitely don't journal as much as I used to, which is really sad, but between being a full-time student, having a part-time job, having a long-term relationship, and also trying to like read enough to do this booktube channel, I just don't have as much time as I used to, but I love doing it, so I try to as much as I can. So as the new year has started, I wanted to create some new spreads just to keep me on track for 2025. I do use Goodreads for my reading tracking, but we all know Goodreads is not the most perfect thing to track your reading by, and I prefer to do it by hand. I do use Notion, but I'm trying to perfect that system right now, so for now just doing it like handwritten and being creative about it is the best way for me. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. Let me show you my 2025 reading journal spreads. Alright, welcome to my 2025 journal spreads. Let's get started. So I'm currently going to flip through and show you all the sketches I've made. I tried to like compile everything into just like a couple, shorter spreads. That way it didn't take up as much space, because I feel like previous years I was just like giving a page for everything, and it was very cluttered and it was just way too much to keep up with. So I tried to like combine a couple of them, and I did take some inspiration from, people I watch on YouTube and like Instagram and things like that. So yeah, I'm very excited to get started. So the first spread I'm going to be working on is my series tracker spread, and I have a lot of series on this spread. Last year I tried to just stick to series I was already in the middle of, but I didn't continue with any I was in the middle of, surprisingly, so I just didn't use it that much. So this year I decided I would add series that I haven't started, and that potentially if I do start them this year, I can make some progress and actually put the spread to use. So some examples: I'm currently reading the Throne of Glass series. I'm currently in the middle of that. The next book I have to read is the tandem read. But then I also added series like Narnia, and I think I added the Crowns of Nyaxia series. What else? Poppy War. Just a bunch of other series that I'm intrigued to start, or I planned and hope to start this year that I'm really looking forward to. So hopefully I can actually get through it. And then for this journal I did go with a blue and gold theme. I didn't really intend that. I kind of just picked out the washi tape I wanted to use, and then from there I chose web markers, and it does not match at all. All of the blues are different shades, so please ignore that, but in the end it looks really, really good, so I'm not really too worried about it. This did take me a couple of days, by the way, so I fully apologize if the lighting changes. I would film this at night or in the morning, so it would be completely different, but I tried to recreate it as similarly as I could. So now I'm just filling out the books that I have read in all of these series, and surprisingly I had read a lot more than I had thought. Like, I was really impressed with myself, but obviously I could do way better. So that is the series tracker spread done. I'm just adding some details, outlining some things. I'll add some stars here in a second. I love my stars, they fill up the white space so easily. Alright, now we are moving on, and the next spread we're going to be completing is kind of like my yearly overview, my yearly goals spread, and I guess you could call it like also a yearly wrap-up. It's kind of just a mashup of a couple of things, so this will have my favorite book of each month, where I'll print out the book cover, and then I'll put it under each month, and I can like see my favorites from each month at a glance, which I really like this idea. I have done it in years past, but not like combined with my yearly goals. So I'm intrigued to see how it looks by the end of the year as I fill it out. I don't really do anything too like perfectly. I don't really try to be too like consistent with like measuring and, you know, making things spaced the same and spaced evenly. I kind of just go with the flow. Like, obviously I want it to look presentable and make it look like satisfying, but I don't really care that much. And then I'm adding some washing tape. Again, none of the blues match. I don't really know what I was thinking, but it looks fine by the end. I'm actually really happy with it. But now I'm adding my yearly goals for 2025, and I tried to like be realistic, but also like challenge myself at the same time. So my yearly reading goal is 55 books. I thought I was gonna just do 50, since in 2024 I was able to read 60, but I just decided on 55. And then now I'm working on that, like, you know, check off a box when you've read a book spread. I don't even know what this is called, but I'm working on it now. But I decided to color in each box based on the month. So I will color code, color coordinate, whatever like marker I'm going to use with each month, and then when I fill in the boxes I'll use that specific color, and then at the end of the year I can see like how many books I read in each month. And like, I know Goodreads will tell me that, but it's also really fun to have a visual as well. But yeah, some of my other reading goals are to finish series. As you saw with my series tracker, I have a lot, so I would like to finish or at least make like progress in a bunch of series. Another reading goal I have this year is to minimize my physical TBR, because it's currently at I think 85 books, I believe. So I'd really like to cut that down. I plan to make like every book on my physical TBR spread soon. So, but that's probably my biggest goal, is to just cut down my TBR. So now for this next spread, I'm going to be doing my most anticipated releases spread. I do have a lot. I will definitely forget about a couple of these that like I'm, I guess, less excited about than other ones. Like, I'm intrigued about most of these, and I would hope to read most of these, but I know that's not really realistic when I also just said my top goal is to minimize my TBR, so take it with a grain of salt. But I am excited about so many of these books. Oh my gosh, 2025 is going to be a great year for releases. So some examples are Wrath of the Dragons, which is the next book in the Fear the Flame series. Fallen Stars. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for Fallen Stars. It's the next book in the Heavenly Bodies series, and Heavenly Bodies was like my 6-star read out of 2024. It was fantastic. And then some other ones that like I'm just kind of like curious about. Like they just look great by the cover, and just like the premise sounds good. But they are A Treachery of Swans by, oh goodness, I'm forgetting the author. But it's like based on Swan Lake, and I'm obsessed with Swan Lake. It just sounds fascinating to me. And then we have, what else do we have? I'm trying to look as I'm doing it. It's just going so fast. Soul Match, which is like a sci-fi dystopian type book. Seems super duper cool. Cruel is a Light, which is an enemies to lovers fantasy. Obviously Onyx Storm, Sunrise on the Reaping. I've been thinking about those for like ever. And then The Floating World by Axio. That is like, it kind of reminds me of Avatar just by the cover, but it looks so good. It's a fantasy, and I'm so curious to see what it's like. So yeah, there's a bunch on here, and it's going so fast, so you probably won't be able to see it all, but if you want to see a specific anticipated releases video, I would love to do one. But another one of my reading goals is to try to read at least one library book a month. It could be any format, so like audiobook, ebook, physical book, and this is probably how I'll consume most of the new releases I have on this list, because I try not to like buy them unless I'm like really sure I'm gonna like them. I don't know why, I've just really changed to that, probably because my physical TBR is out of control, but also just because I'm like, why would I want to spend money on a book if I'm really not sure if I'll like it, if I'm just buying it for the sake of like it's a new release. So, and then this next spread is my 25 books I would want to read in 2025, and technically that is half of my reading goal for this year, so I don't know how realistic it's gonna be. It's probably a bit ambitious, but I try to do a mix of books that have been on my physical TBR and like my priority TBR forever, while also mixing some new releases, like my top new releases I'm looking forward to, just to kind of like, I don't know, make it more achievable in my head. So like the ones I read off my physical TBR, will definitely be crossed off, but then if I read the new releases, like they still count. So like, I don't know, in my mind it makes sense. I highly doubt I'll get to all of these just because it is half my reading goal, but I just want to, read as much as I can and read as much variety as I can and as much exciting books as I can. But another one of my goals is to not be afraid to DNF, because I feel like most of the time I try and push myself to finish a book just on the off chance that I'll enjoy what the ending is, but I'm trying to prioritize quality over quantity because why would I want to put myself through a book I'm not enjoying when I have so many other books on my shelves that I probably will enjoy more. But as you can see, I'm now working on my shelf overview spread, so I'm gonna draw out the books. I'm currently doing the bookshelves and then the little window. I love the addition of the window, it just makes it so cute. But I'll draw miniature books, and then I will color them in. So instead of doing it by month on the spread, since I'm doing that for the other one, I'm going to do it by format. So I'll have physical, audio, and ebook, and then if it was a library book, I'm going to add a specific color, embellishment, like a dot or a squiggle line on it, so I can know that I got it from the library. So I'm really excited to see how the colors will turn out at the end of the year, and there are way too many books on this shelf. I just kind of got lost and just really wanted to make it cute more than anything, so I think there's almost 100 books on this spread, and I most definitely will not be able to fill it up all the way, because I will not be able to read 100 books this year, but I'm just excited to see it. I just think it'll be really cool, and maybe I could just fill them in with other colors that don't count, and then just be yeah, I totally read 100 books. This has been one of my favorite spreads for the longest time. I just love the overview, and I love making it look like a realistic bookshelf. Honestly, something like this is my dream bookshelf. It's so cute. And I did take inspiration from Katie is Reading. I love her journal vlogs and I love her just videos in general. She's one of my favorite booktubers to watch. And one of the hardest parts was doing like the night sky. It was so difficult for some reason. I guess just trying to line up the moon and like the stars and everything and doing the outlining, but I can't complain. It was very, very fun. Alright, so now we have completed my 2025 spreads. I'm so excited to use these spreads throughout the year. They're just so much fun to fill out and just like admire my hard work. But as you can see, I've got the key at the top for the format of the books. And then we've got my lovely series tracker, which, you know, it does look kind of cohesive at the end, so I'm okay with that. We've got my kind of ugly 25 books 3 and 25. I don't really know what happened there. I've got a lot of space. I don't really know what I'll do there. We've got my monthly favorites and my yearly reading goals. Here I am pointing. And then my most anticipated releases. I love the spread. It looks so cute, so colorful. And then this is my Shadowhunter spread. I did skip it because I'm going to just do it separately. It's going to be really time consuming and I don't know what I'm going to do. And then here is my yearly reading goal overview. Alright, I hope you enjoyed watching me create my 2025 spreads. It was a lot of fun. It took me multiple weeks to get done. I did go on a trip in the middle of this, so that kind of was the reason for the delay. But I hope you enjoyed watching. I had a lot of fun setting them up, and I'm excited to fill them out throughout the year as I read and as I hopefully hit my reading goal. That is... Hopefully I can do that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you so much for watching. It means a lot. And if you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe and I'll see you in my next video.